Forget what the documentaries told you. Early war infantry didn't fail because they lacked courage or spirit. They failed because their kid didn't move with their bodies. Straps cut into necks. Pouches bounced. Buckles snapped when you crawled. Regulations promised neat, standardized loads. Combat demanded ugly improvisation. So this list isn't about wonder weapons. It's about small gear decisions that kept men fed, loaded, and mobile when the plan collapsed. These are the 7 forgotten early war WW2 field gear innovations that shaped battles. Number 7. British 1937 pattern webbing. Unassuming, yet it quietly decided who could keep moving. British equipment policy between the wars pushed towards standardized, interchangeable web gear. Belt, braces, ammo pouches, bayonet frog, entrenching tool, and a small pack that could be worn with or without the larger valise. The 1937 pattern was meant to distribute weight and keep essentials in the same place across units, so training transferred cleanly. In France in 1940, that theory met hurried marches, broken transport, and men carrying extra rations and ammunition because resupply wasn't guaranteed. BEF infantry like 2nd Battalion, Royal Norfolk Regiment in 8th Brigade, 3rd Division often fought while moving, then moved again, then fought again. The 1937 layout helped because it rode tighter than older leather sets and handled rain better than you'd expect. But it also punished the unprepared. Straps needed constant adjustment, and overloaded small packs pulled on the braces until they chafed raw. At Dunkirk, the webbing's simplicity helped men ditch the valise and keep fighting essentials. But in documented accounts of the retreat, men also cut straps or abandoned packs entirely when the load slowed them during air attack and canal crossings. Number 6. German Y straps and assault loadouts. An efficiency upgrade until the load became a trap. German infantry regulations tied equipment to a clean system. Belt kit supported by Y-shaped suspenders, ammunition in front, bread bag and canteen to the side, and the tornister or a frame for heavier marching loads. Doctrine assumed the load could be shifted full marching order to light, assault, order without losing critical items. During the 1940 campaign through Belgium and into France, units pushing fast like elements of 6. Armies infantry divisions following the armored spearheads benefited from that distribution. The Y-straps stabilized the belt so ammo pouches didn't bounce when men ran, crawled, or climbed embankments. It sounds minor. It isn't. A pouch that stays put is a pouch you can reload from while breathing hard. The downside was predictable and recorded in soldiers' letters and after-action complaints. When you add extra bandoliers, grenades, or captured gear, the same efficient harness becomes a pressure rig. Straps dig into shoulders. Buckles slip when soaked. In some cases men loosened the set for comfort then lost canteens and entrenching tools in ditches and hedgerows when they had to sprint. Number 5. Soviet M36, M38 belt and suspenders. Quietly practical when it wasn't falling apart. Red Army regulations in the late 1930s emphasized a simple, producible carry system. A belt with cartridge pouches supported by suspenders, plus bread bag, canteen, and entrenching tool. The M36 and updated M38 arrangements aimed to keep ammunition accessible while spreading weight away from the waist, important for long ski marches, deep snow, and heavy winter clothing. In the Winter War, the gap between paper and practice showed up fast. In formations like the 163rd Rifle Division moving into the Suomussalmi area in late 1939, men carried extra rounds and food because supply columns struggled on forest roads under Finnish attacks. Suspenders helped keep the belt from sagging over bulky coats. But the system relied on consistent manufacturing and good leather or web quality, things the Red Army didn't always have in 1939-40. Stitching and hardware could fail under cold and moisture. Men improvised with cord, wire, and captured straps to keep pouches from swinging. When it held together, the belt and suspenders setup let troops move and shoot without constantly hiking their gear up. When it didn't, spilled ammunition and lost tools turned short fights into slow, exhausting scrambles for basic necessities. Number 4. Finnish ski troop carry rigs. Mobility that looked light because it had to be. Finnish doctrine for winter fighting demanded loads that wouldn't snag in forests or throw balance on skis. The goal was simple: keep ammunition, food, and basic survival kit on the man, not on a vehicle that might never arrive. Rigs had to work over thick clothing, and they had to stay quiet: no loose metal, no clattering. At Suomussalmi in December 1939 and January 1940, Finnish ski troops operating under units like the 9th Division used compact carry solutions that matched their tactics: fast movement, sudden contact, and quick withdrawal. Light rigs and rucks let men glide through soft snow, circle road columns, and hit supply points without arriving exhausted. The real innovation wasn't a single model, but the logic: keep the load high and stable, and keep reloads reachable with middens. It worked when speed was the weapon. But it had limits. Light rigs meant limited reserves. During prolonged actions, a patrol could burn through ammunition faster than it could be brought forward on sleds. And when captured Soviet stocks weren't accessible, the same minimalism that enabled the ambush could force an early disengagement. If you had to choose more ammo on your body, or a lighter rig that keeps you fast, what would you bet your life on? Before we move on, look at what all four of these have in common. They're not better weapons. They're better compromises. Which one would you trust most on day 3 of a retreat? British modular webbing, German Y straps, Soviet suspenders, or a Finnish ski rig? Tell us below and subscribe. Number 3. Italian Sahariana desert carriage setup. Comfort became a logistics system until it advertised your needs. Italian regulations and supply tables still assumed a familiar European infantry load: belt pouches for Carcano ammunition, a bread bag, canteen, bayonet, and blanket or shelter items carried in a pack. Even in North Africa, the official answer was mostly the same kit: worn correctly, maintained correctly. Then the desert made correct into a joke. Men in units like Ariete and Trieste lived in dust, heat, and long vehicle moves followed by sudden dismount fights. The Sahariana uniforms built in cargo pockets, big, accessible, and close to the body, turned clothing into load-bearing equipment. Water, extra clips, compass, cigarettes, a folded rag to keep sand out of the action. You could carry the small things that keep you functioning without digging through a bouncing bag. Soldiers also shifted items forward, because you don't want to be reaching behind your spine for a canteen while you're flat behind a tire. When it worked, it reduced drop gear during hurried dismounts and kept essentials on you even if the truck didn't come back. When it didn't, those bulging pockets screamed, "I'm carrying water," and "I have ammunition," tempting theft. And the weight pulled at seams until stitching failed in the worst possible moment. Number 2. Japanese early war haversack and ammo arrangements. Orderly on paper, ruthless in the jungle. Japanese pre-war field regulations emphasized a disciplined, standardized load. Ammunition in front pouches, bayonet fixed to the belt, mess tin and canteen positioned for balance, and a haversack or pack carrying rations and personal kit. The expectation was neatness, repeatability, and marching efficiency. In China and early Pacific fighting, the environment punished anything that swung, snagged, or soaked. Troops in places like Malaya and later the Philippines often tightened straps until circulation complained, because loose gear and thick growth meant noise and friction burns. Men rebalanced the load by shifting ammunition and grenades into places they could reach one-handed, even if it violated the diagram. Some units used improvised waterproofing oiled cloth, rubberized covers, or multiple layers of fabric to keep rice and ammunition from turning into wet weight. And when heat and hunger hit, rations moved from later to right now, carried in pockets where you could eat while moving. Done well, it kept a man quiet and supplied during long infiltration. Done badly, tight straps caused sores and infections, and overloaded front pouches slowed prone movement exactly when you needed your body low and your hands free. Number 1. U.S. pre-war M1923, M1936 field gear. Designed for the textbook infantryman, then stress-tested by reality. U.S. Army doctrine before the war treated field gear like a system. The M1923 cartridge belt for the rifleman, the M1936 pistol belt and suspenders for others, and the M1936 musette bag for essentials. The manuals aimed for consistent placement, balanced weight, and standardized attachment points so units could train one way and fight the same way. Early deployments exposed what that standardization really bought you. In North Africa and the early Mediterranean fighting, soldiers loaded musette bags with the things doctrine underweighted: extra water, socks, first aid items, ration mixes, and small tools. The musette's quick access strap made it a working bag, not a march bag. Men also reconfigured belts for what their job demanded: more rifle clips, more grenades, fewer comfort items because firefights didn't care about symmetrical layouts. Suspenders were adjusted high to stop the belt from rolling when you went prone. Some taped metal keepers to reduce rattle. When it worked, it let troops strip down fast for contact while keeping essentials on their bodies. When it failed, overstuffed musettes tore at seams, and poorly balanced belts bruised hips and dumped ammo in sand exactly where you didn't have time to count what you'd lost. All these innovations lived in the gap between what an institution could standardize and what a human body could tolerate. Paper loads look clean. Real loads swell with fear, fatigue, weather, and the nagging question of what won't be resupplied. So men edited the system quietly, constantly until it fit the day. If you want World War II history without simplification, patriotic mythology, or documentary cliches, subscribe to Brass and Blitz. We'll stay close to the tools, the hands, and the consequences.